Hey y'all, don't you love an easy morning where you can put together a hearty breakfast that you can really get into and enjoy? Well, this seafood omelet is definitely that for me. I don't get to fix it enough, but when I do, I really enjoy it. Here are the ingredients if you want to pause the screen to grab it. And I'm just going to pan the ingredients as I have them on my counter there so you can just kind of see what goes into it. Most of these things are things that you'll probably have in your refrigerator or in your pantry, but also you can actually go out and get them if this is something maybe you want to fix by the weekend. But really good ingredients. And let's get into this. So I start out with a pat of butter into my omelet pan and basically add in my red onions. My green bell peppers are added in. A recipe also calls for red ones. You can do that. I didn't do the red ones here, just the green. But basically you do that and then you get them to cooking. Add in a teaspoon of garlic, and then it's a really fragrant mix once you kind of get them all stirring in with the butter. And so you let them sweat down really good before you go to the next step of the recipe, which is adding in your shrimp. And so once they're cooking down really good, and I have them on a medium-high heat there, and so I add in my shrimp, and they're not going to stay in there too long. They're basically going to get pink. And so if you know shrimp, you know it doesn't take long to for them to cook and for them to get done. So, and you don't want them to get rubbery. So you take them, and then once they're in, start stirring them around in the medley mix. And so that kind of coats them and gets that seasoning and that flavoring all up in there before you start going to the next steps. But anyway, you see how that they're actually, as they're being turned, they're getting there, yep, and cooking in. And this is what it looks like, and I still have it on the medium-high heat. And then I'm going to add my cooking sherry there. And the cooking sherry just helps to actually pull all of those flavors together, and it adds a distinct flavor as well. But I love that because it's really tasty. And then once you have your cooking sherry cooked down, you're going to add in your crab. And so I do a good little bit of crab. Even though this is just for a couple of omelets, because I've adjusted the recipe that you saw up front because I'm only going to do 2, but the recipe allows you to do 4. But I've just basically adjusted it. And so basically add in your crab, mix all of that together so that it's also getting the seasoning, and then top it off with a little Creole seasoning. And you can do that to taste, but the recipe for the big amount gives you that at the beginning as well. But then season that and then blend it, and then after that's blended, then you set it aside and you're going to put your omelet mix together. So basically you're beating your eggs, and I add in a little heavy cream because I like my omelet to be a little fluffy. And so you can do yours as you wish, but I like mine fluffy, so I did a little heavy cream. I also seasoned them with a little salt and pepper. And so with the omelet pan, a little bit of butter back in there, I pour in my eggs, my beaten eggs for the base. And as that's cooking, you're going to just let it set up. And you know, if you cooked eggs before, you know how that is. And so you just test it just by pulling it off to the side there, just to see if it's cooking, and you'll see that it is cooking there. And so once it's cooked, and you know, you're going to flip it and then get your omelet base. And I make sure mine is well done because I don't like runny eggs, but you know, you make it your amount of fluffiness. And so this is what mine ended up being. And so once I got my omelet base off, put it on a plate, I put the filling, the omelet filling in the middle there. And then I came back with my cream cheese. And so you're gonna see that. And then just I did a dollop. I call it a good dollop though. You may like a little bit less, but I like a little cream cheese. But put it down the middle, and then just top it off a little bit with some parsley. And you don't have to do the parsley part. Some people actually like cheese. You can add more cheese to it, but the cream cheese is enough for me. And then you're gonna fold it into your omelet. And mine always looks like a burrito, so you can call it an omelet burrito. But put it into your omelet there, and then voila, this is your outcome. And so for me, all of this comes together so well. It is such a delicious breakfast. And so I have it at a restaurant that's here in my city. And I tell you, I think I've come close to matching their recipe. So I like making this one at home. And I tell you, when you just get your fork into it, Oh, it is good. Oh yeah, that's it. That is it. So enjoy.